up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a entertainment and electronics expo? Wait, it is. What's going on, super friends? It's SuperDude. SuperDude. Of course, that's the way you want it. Back here again in the Fortress of Broitude to bring you, as titled down below, all the things that I picked up from E3 news sent to me on my YouTube channels and such. But first, before we get to all that, a bit of a note. You may be noticing that I'm wearing my American Alpha shirt, my Green Ranger hat, my same Green Ranger hat and American Alpha shirt I've worn in a video previous, and you may notice that I wear a lot of the same things in a lot of my videos. Now, the reason for that is because I have a bunch of clothes. I'm not a hobo. I don't own just one or two outfits. I have a bunch of t-shirts and pants just like everyone else because, well, I have to for work and such. But these are the things I like to wear. And I feel whenever I wear clothes that I like this shirt, for example, that my mood improves just by wearing the shirt or wearing the hat or wearing your favorite jacket or whatever. And whenever I try to do these videos, I try to have an improved mood and an upbeat mood, which is what this is for. American Alpha. By the way, another note quickly. My birthday's tomorrow. For those of you watching this on the 13th of June, my birthday is on the 14th of June, which is on Tuesday, which is tomorrow because I'm recording this on June 13th. So, and it should be going up on June 13th too. But aside from all that, I'm going to be talking about all the things I saw at E3 that happened for the games that they showed off today or what have you. I think E3 is like a whole week or 3 days to a week, something like that. So, of course, I'm going to probably be doing E3 week if there's more news. If not, I'll just be doing updates on stuff that I enjoyed. Now, I'm not going to be talking about one game every video. I'm just going to be talking about all the things that I enjoyed about E3 announcements that day. I'm sure there are going to be more to come. Probably today, there are going to be more announced E3 gameplay trailers or news or this. I'm not saying that this is all of E3, all of the E3 news that I found for the entire E3 this year. This is just what I found so far. Starting with Jason Voorhees. Woo. That guy. Yeah. They released gameplay footage for the Friday the 13th game. When I heard of a Friday the 13th game, I thought, how exactly is that going to happen? Because, well, the only way they could do it is if they allowed you to control Jason and walk around killing fools. Or a counselor running from him. And it turns out you can do both. Now, as a counselor, your whole job is to stay alive as long as possible, hiding from Jason Voorhees. Now, I don't know yet if there's like a time goal, like survive for this long and you get away, or survive until the morning comes, whatever. But I know that there's a meter that if Jason grabs you, you can press button, I'm assuming, and increase the meter, and once the meter's increased, you get away, and you better run. You can do things like play a radio and open a window, that kind of stuff. You play a radio, you open a window so the radio noise gets out through the window, and Jason's like, oh, go to the radio and destroy it because I'm Jason. Or you can play as Jason. I don't know if it's you have to do both type of thing. You can do one or the other. If it's a multiplayer type thing where one person's playing as Jason and the other, I don't know. All I know is it showed that you can play some form or fashion as Jason Voorhees with multiple abilities. You can check on your ability is to check a map to see where people are. You can click that area of the map and you go there. You there is a mask option up there for a button, a mask ability that they didn't show. I'm gonna assume if you use that, you get faster for an extended period, or you get stronger for an extended period, or something to that effect. Something increases for an extended period with that ability. You have a teleport, apparently, according to MKX. Jason can teleport, so I guess it's an explainer of how Jason can get from one place to another. He just moves really fast through the mist. Teleportation. So, yeah, everyone's screwed now because Jason can teleport. They didn't really show off a whole lot, but the game looks great. You just murder camp counselors because your mom tells you to. And why wouldn't you murder someone for your mother? Shame on you if you don't. If you don't murder someone because you love your mom, then you're not a really good son, are you? Think about that. Yeah. But the game looks good. There's a lot of environmental type kills. One of the kills in the game was Jason grabs the person's face, bashes them on a rock, and then just steps on their spine, snapping their spine in half, crushing their neck, all that sort of stuff. Another move, bashing them into the side of a cabin until they stop moving. Just Jason stuff, you know? Jason Voorhees stuff. Weirdly, he only used the machete at the end, which I'm assuming two things. Either one, the machete is going to be saved for a final kill. Like, the machete is going to be like, after you've killed all the counselors, once you get to the last one, you machete them to death. Or that, I'm assuming thing number two is you can use the machete for any sort of kill. Like, if you don't want to environment kill them, you can just stab them in the side, cut their neck, whatever. This got really violent. Let's talk about more violence. Killer Instinct released a thing at E3. The thing they released... What's that? That's the sound of a chainsaw and a gun. And they're both connected. That's called a Lancer. But where do we get a Lancer from, guys? It's from Gears of War. That's where you get a Lancer from. It's from Gears of War. Spoiler alert. Sorry. For those of you who don't know Gears of War, there was a character in the first Gears of War. There was by the name of General Ram. He was the boss of Gears of War 1. He was the big bad that you were trying to cut down and take out. Well, Killer Instinct decided, we have a Battletoad, and that's just silly. So why don't we get General Ram? Because we need Gears of... And I believe Killer Instinct is a console-exclusive game, which makes sense that they would get General Ram for such a game because General Ram is a console-exclusive character because Gears of War is only on the Xbox systems, and Killer Instinct, I believe, is only on the Xbox systems. I don't have official sources, but I'm going to say Killer Instinct's on the Xbox only because I haven't seen it for the PS4, or I probably would have gotten it. So leave comments in the below if I'm wrong, because I really hope I'm wrong. That way I could, I really hope I'm wrong. That way I can play Killer Instinct before having to buy an Xbox One. Excuse me. Now, moving on to the game that I've talked about before, Injustice 2. Wait, scratch that. I didn't talk a whole lot about General Ram, did I? Sorry, I get sidetracked very easily. I'll make a whole video talking about that here soon. But General Ram looks great in this game. They got his design. It looks like he walked straight out of the Gears universe into the Killer Instinct world. Looks like he pulled a Battletoad and walked right out of his universe into our. That's not how he's introduced. That's not because they introduced Battletoad. Like Battletoad was just like, all right, I've beaten everything here. I want a new challenge, and then he goes on to, excuse me, He goes on to Killer Instinct. They didn't introduce him that way. They introduced General Ram walking through darkness, and I don't remember in Gears of War what the darkness was called, but it's if you you have a mission where you're being chased by something, and you have to stay in a spotlight, and if you get out of that spotlight, you'll be devoured by these creatures. And basically that's what General Ram was surrounded by, and they showed him running towards a character from Killer Instinct called Jago, and Jago throws a sort of Killer Instinct-esque, Street Fighter-esque Hadouken type of fireball thing. Yeah, be salty that I call every fireball a Hadouken. Yeah, be salty. But they showed General Ram just like sort of hit him, and he just pushed through it. He just ran past it. Just yeah. Because I'm General Ram, nothing hurts me. Which makes me think he's gonna have an ability in the game or something to that effect in the game where he can just power through projectiles of multiple sorts. But they didn't show a lot of his gameplay. They just said, "Hey, General Ram's a thing. He exists in the world." There's an homage to him killing Lieutenant Kim. I think it was Lieutenant Kim, and the way he killed Lieutenant Kim with a knife and all. There's that in there. But aside from the running across the screen and the General Kim or the Lieutenant Kim kill thing, there's not a whole lot of gameplay to delve into. When there is, I'll talk more about it. But now, yay, General Ram gets more screen time. But now we are going to talk about... That guy's excited for what we're talking about. That guy's really excited. You heard him over there. Oh, yeah, like the Kool-Aid man. We are going to be talking about Injustice 2. But SuperDude, you talked about all the gameplay yesterday. Well, there's more. Is there? There is. There is more. At E3, they showed off gameplay of like 3 different arenas and 6 characters. Those 6 characters being Aquaman, Gorilla Grodd, Batman, Superman, Supergirl, and Atrocitus. The characters we already know about. There were no new reveals. There was no new character reveals, no new stage reveals. Just some new gameplay to attach on to. And a little more information. A minutely little more information about the gear system. It was talked briefly about. I'll get to that in just a minute. But the gameplay looks clean. The gameplay looks well worked out. It wasn't buggy. It wasn't weird looking. The models looked great. The super moves are taken to the next level. The combos are back. Some of the moves you like Aquaman's stab move is back with his trident. Batman's still doing his Batman thing, breaking legs. He has a parry in this game where he tackles you, knocks you down, grabs your leg and snaps it because Batman. Supergirl has some cool... We saw her little laser eye show where the character's just like getting hit with a laser and he just keeps staggering backwards. That was really cool. We saw some Atrocitus, Rage Vomit anti-air stuff. We saw some... we saw the clash system is back. But instead of being on opposite sides and clashing together, they sort of like go forearm to forearm and like, yeah, you're not going to outstrength me. Which is going to be interesting to see characters like Green Arrow try to outstrength Superman, but that's what makes Injustice awesome, is that it's not comic book specific where Superman would just murder Green Arrow with a flick to the face, stuff like that. But yeah, they showed some of that, and what makes this clash system really cool is that whoever wins gets a sort of unique to them outclash, or whatever you want to call it, like a unique move they do if you win. Like Batman does a sort of overhead punch. Atrocitus, he snaps off with some rage vomit in your face. And I'm really liking the aesthetics of Atrocitus while we're talking about it. I'm really liking the aesthetics of Atrocitus. Dexstar is in there, and you can use him to your advantage. I don't know if it's a trait. We don't know if variations are going to be back. I'm hoping variations aren't a thing, and that Dexstar just happens to be there as a sort of calling card, like, hey, help me out, buddy. And the little cat shows up and is like, I got it. What bap? That sort of thing. But everything looks really good, except Aquaman's hair looks off. Not like Aquaman the game off, because that was atrocious. It was awful. But it looks off enough. It looks really underdone. It doesn't matter to me, though, because I'm not going to be using Aquaman barely any, if ever. I'm going to be immediately picking up Atrocitus as soon as I get the game and learning Atrocitus. So, there you go. SuperDude reveals his main for Injustice 2, even though I don't know who else is going to be in it yet. But I guarantee you I'm going to be using Atrocitus at least a moderate amount, if not more. But on to the news we got about the gear system. Like I said, it's a little bit, but it's enough. Now, I have to make a slight correction from a previous video. I believe I said something to the effect of, if you play as Superman, you get Superman gear. If you play as Batman, you get Batman gear. If you play as Flash, you get Flash gear. This is apparently not the case. There's a thing that says there are thousands and thousands of pieces of gear for, say, the Flash. It's going to be pretty good. I hope that doesn't mean we're not getting costumes this time around. That would be bad. I still want to see costumes. I don't want to just see a bunch of armor pieces that look like costumes. I want to see a bunch of costumes. I want to see Zoom costumes and Green Arrow from the CW costumes and Superman from this comic book costume, stuff like that. That's what made Injustice fun to me. Also, was the different costumes that you could put on and play as. It gave the game a little bit of a refreshing kick when things got boring. Like, oh, you use Red Sun Superman too much. Well, here's Superman dressed as a prisoner, type of thing. It was great, and I hope it comes back. And I hope it's not just a bunch of armor pieces and no costumes. But when it comes to the armor, you get armor drops, and it can be for any character, so you just gotta like grind until you get stuff for your character. And that's gonna be hard for me because I'm sure Atrocitus has a bunch, and I want to get all of it. I'm sort of, if I have a favorite character and you can get gear for that character, I want all of that character's gear. Or you could get armor or anything for a specific character that I like playing as. I want to get everything for that character possible, so I'm going to be playing this game a lot. It really adds to the replay value, if you ask me. That way you can be like, oh, I'm still missing this piece for Superman. I've got to go do that. I hope, honestly, that there are mission-specific armor unlocks. Like, if you do this mission, you will unlock this specific armor piece. That would be good. Or play 10 missions with Superman and unlock a Superman armor piece. Something like that. But the thing about the armor pieces is they don't automatically upgrade your speed or your strength or your health or anything like that. According to the interview Ed Boon was giving, you get to decide what the armor enhances. You get to decide if it increases your health or your strength or your speed. It sounds incredibly broken already, but I'm not going to judge it wholeheartedly until I see further evidence. It's interesting because... It's interesting because I assumed it was going to be like you get this armor piece and your speed increases. You get but that's not the case. Is that you can fully customize what armor does. Like if you see a set of armor that you love, but it increases something you don't like, that would have been bad. That's not a thing though. Is that it's like if you see an armor set that you fell in love with, you get to decide what that armor set increases. So if you're a strength character, that armor set can increase your strength. If you suck at the game, that armor can increase your health. If you want to be faster, that armor can increase your speed. It's going to be a really interesting system to see, and I can't wait till we get more information on it. And I know I'm like grabbing every little piece of information I can about Injustice 2 and I'm talking about it. But that's just because I'm so hyped for this game. There unfortunately wasn't any WWE 2K17 information at today's E3. I don't know if there's going to be some tomorrow or Wednesday or what. Hopefully there will be. Hopefully we see some gameplay. Hopefully we get some roster announcements. Excuse me. Stuff like that. And as soon as there is, you'll know because I will make a video. I'm probably not the first one you're going to watch, but I'm going to make one. But that is really all there is for today anyway. So thank you guys for watching again. I thank you guys at the end of every video. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos coming up sometime soon about certain things that I hope you all watch. But thanks for watching my E3 news video, guys. Until next time, you guys have been Super Friends. I've been SuperDude from the Fortress of Brotude. And I'm up and away.